not be cheap. So the problem is not the amount of money being spent. The problem is actually what we are getting in return for the amount of money that is being spent. Because on average, from the data that we have, the Kenyan parents foot 38% of the cost of education.
38%?
38%.
Okay.
And the government foots 54% of the cost of education. And then we have other actors, donors, footing the remaining about 8%
right.
of the cost of our education. So for me, the key issue is when parents are putting all these resources in education, how accountable is the education system to guarantee that they are getting value for the sacrifice that they're making to invest in their children?
So does it mean, and sorry to cut you, does it mean the higher a parent pays and knows that I'm going to be paying higher, they also expect a higher value? Because, I mean, as just starting earlier this month, the Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machugu was saying that 70% of parents in Nairobi alone are taking their children to private institutions. So does this mean this 70% are expecting that I'm going to be paying, let's say, 50,000 or even higher? Does that mean they're also expecting a higher value?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because we have parents paying 1 million shillings for children in primary schools in this country.
Okay.
And that is out of choice. And for those parents, they are actually expecting much higher value. The 70% that Waziri is talking about in Nairobi are people taking their children to low-cost private schools because they have no option. The government has not put up public schools in our informal settlements. So those parents have no option. It's no choice for them to take children in private schools, which actually sometimes amazes me that the government does not give those children in the low-cost private schools capitation. And yet they are the children of the poorest of the poor, especially in our urban centers. So I feel that we might convolute issues when we just look at the fact that the parent is paying. There are those paying out of choice, and they are paying as high as 1 million and more per year. And there are those paying 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 because they have no choice. They must pay because their children have no access to any other kind of school. So they have to go to private.